I 27M discovered my girlfriend, 26F of 2 years, believes relationships should be completely one-sided. Her exact words after I ended up in the hospital made me realize I had been dating a stranger. My girlfriend Claire told me, "Ryan, if you needed me, you would have contacted me first." That is how our relationship works. You are the one who does the caring. That is your job, not mine. She said this to explain why she did not check on me when I spent the night in the hospital. I realized I had been in a one-person relationship for 2 years. I am sitting in my apartment at 2 a.m. trying to process what happened this week, and I honestly do not know if I just had the biggest wake-up call of my life, or if I am losing my mind. Claire and I have been together for 2 years. I have always been the one who initiates everything in our relationship. I plan our dates. I text good morning. First, I remember important days. I ask about her work stress, her family drama, everything. Claire is more reserved, I guess you would call it. She responds when I reach out, participates in what I plan, but she has never really been the one to take the lead on anything. I told myself this was just our dynamic. Some people are initiators, some people are responders. I am naturally more outgoing and organized, so it made sense that I would be the one driving our relationship forward. Claire seemed happy with this arrangement, and when we were together, things felt good. But this Tuesday, something happened that made me question everything I thought I knew about the woman I love. I woke up feeling terrible, dizzy, nauseous, feverish. I thought it was just a stomach bug. So I called in sick to work and tried to sleep it off. Around noon, I got up to get some water and completely blacked out in my kitchen. Next thing I knew, my neighbor was banging on my door because she had heard me fall, and then I was in an ambulance. Turned out I had severe dehydration from food poisoning, and my blood pressure had dropped dangerously low. The doctors kept me overnight for monitoring and IV fluids. Scary stuff. But I am fine now. Here is the part that is eating at me when I finally got my phone back from the hospital staff the next morning. I had 0 missed calls or texts from Claire. Nothing, not even a "Hey, is everything okay?" or "Why have you not responded to me?" I stared at that blank notification screen for probably 10 minutes. In the 2 years we have been together, there has not been a single day where I did not check in with her somehow. If she was sick, I would bring her soup. If she had a bad day, I would send encouraging texts. If she went quiet for more than a few hours, I would ask what was wrong. I genuinely thought that if I disappeared for 24 hours without any communication, she would at least wonder if something was up. But apparently not. When I got home from the hospital, I finally texted her. "Hey, I was in the hospital overnight. Food poisoning got pretty bad. I am okay now." Her response came 3 hours later. "Oh no, glad you are feeling better." That was it. No follow-up questions about what happened. No offer to bring anything over. No "Why did you not call me?" Just a generic "Glad you are better," like she was responding to a coworker's sick day. I keep trying to imagine the reverse scenario. If Claire had gone radio silent for an entire day without explanation, I would have been calling, texting, maybe even driving to her apartment to make sure she was alive. The thought of her being alone and scared in a hospital while I went about my normal day makes me feel sick. But she just did not notice I was gone. Reddit. Am I being unreasonable here? Is it normal for someone to not check on their partner after a full day of no contact? I am starting to wonder if I have been putting way more into this relationship than I have been getting back. But I do not know if that is a fair assessment or if I am just emotional from being sick. Has anyone else been in a relationship where you are always the one reaching out first? How do you know if it is just different communication styles or if it is actually one-sided? Edit. A lot of people are asking if this is part of a pattern. Looking back honestly, yeah, it probably is. I am always the one who texts first in the morning, who makes weekend plans, who remembers her friends' birthdays, who asks about her day. I cannot remember the last time she initiated a conversation or activity. Edit 2. Someone asked what would have happened if I had not texted her about the hospital. I am genuinely not sure she would have noticed I was missing. That is a really uncomfortable realization. But what she said when I confronted her about this made me realize I never knew her at all. Update: I waited a few days before bringing this up because I wanted to make sure I was not just being emotional from the hospital stress. But the more I thought about it, the more I needed to understand her perspective. Last Saturday, we were having dinner at her place, and I decided to just ask directly. I kept it simple, Claire. I am curious about something. When I was in the hospital Tuesday night, did you wonder why I had not texted you at all that day? She looked confused by the question. No, not really. Why would I? Well, we usually text throughout the day, and Tuesday there was just nothing from my end. I thought you might have noticed. She shrugged. I figured you were busy or did not feel like talking. If you needed something, you would have reached out. This is where it gets unbelievable, I said. But what if something had happened to me? What if I could not reach out? Her exact response. Ryan, if you needed me, you would have contacted me first. That is how our relationship works. You are the one who calls and texts and worries about stuff. If you are not doing that, it means you do not need me to. Why would I randomly start texting you when that is not what I normally do? That would be weird. I just sat there staring at her. She said it so matter-of-factly, like she was explaining a basic law of physics. So you never worry about me? I asked. You never wonder how I am doing or want to just talk to me? Of course I care about you, but you always handle the communication stuff. That is your thing. I respond when you reach out. We hang out when you plan it. It works perfectly. Why would I change something that works? That is when something clicked for me. I asked her, Claire, when is the last time you initiated any conversation between us? Like, when is the last time you texted me first or called me just because you wanted to talk? She thought about it for a long moment. I do not know. I do not really keep track of that stuff. Does it matter who texts first as long as we are talking? What about planning dates or activities? You are so much better at that than I am. You know what restaurants are good? What movies are playing? I just go along with what you suggest. It is easier that way. What about asking about my day or how work is going? Or if I am feeling okay? Another long pause. You usually tell me about your day anyway, and if something was wrong, you would say something. That is just how you are. Reddit. I felt like I was talking to someone who had never actually considered that I might want to feel cared for too. Like the idea that I might want her to show interest in my life, independent of me prompting her to show that interest, had literally never occurred to her. I tried one more approach. How do you think I knew you were stressed about your presentation at work last month? Because I told you about it. No, because I asked you about it. I noticed you seemed off and I kept asking until you opened up about what was bothering you. Oh, long silence. I guess I do not really. I mean, you seem to handle your stuff pretty well. I figured if you needed support, you would ask for it. You are really independent that way. But then she said something that made my blood run cold. Honestly, Ryan, most guys would love having a girlfriend like me. I am not clingy or needy or dramatic. I do not blow up your phone or demand constant attention. I let you do your thing and I do mine. It is the perfect relationship. No pressure. No expectations. No drama. You should appreciate how easy I make things for you. That is when I realized Claire was not just passively uninterested. She was actively proud of caring as little as possible. Edit. A lot of people are asking if she has always been like this, or if something changed. Looking back, she has always been this way. I just convinced myself it was her being low maintenance and independent. I see now it was actually just not caring. Edit 2. Someone asked what I am going to do next. I honestly do not know. How do you explain to someone that relationships require mutual effort when they fundamentally believe effort itself is the problem? That is when I decided to test something that would either save or destroy our relationship. Update 2. After that conversation with Claire, I could not stop thinking about what she had said. The idea that she was proud of never initiating contact because it made her the perfect girlfriend kept playing in my head. So I decided to run an experiment. I stopped reaching out first. For 1 full week, I decided to stay completely silent to see what would happen if I let our relationship exist on her level of initiative instead of mine. On Sunday, nothing came through normally. I would text her good morning and ask about her plans for the day. But this time I forced myself to stay quiet. Monday rolled around with the same result. Usually I would check in about her workday, ask how things were going. maybe send a funny meme I had seen. But my phone stayed completely silent. Then came Tuesday, which was really the big test because that is when she has her weekly team meeting that always stresses her out. For 2 years straight, I had been texting her beforehand to wish her luck and following up afterward to see how it went. This Tuesday, I did absolutely nothing. She did not reach out either. By Wednesday, I was genuinely curious what would happen next. We always make weekend plans by Wednesday, and I always take the lead on researching restaurants, checking movie times, seeing what events are happening around town. This time I just waited to see if she would step up. No word came from her about weekend plans or anything else. Thursday hit me particularly hard because at this point I was wondering if she even remembered I existed. Had she noticed we had not spoken in almost a week? Was she wondering if I was mad at her? Was she worried something had happened to me again like the hospital incident? Based on the complete radio silence. Apparently not. Friday came and went, with still nothing from her end. This was officially the longest we had gone without any communication since we started dating. I kept checking my phone thinking surely she would reach out, maybe suggest plans for the evening or the weekend, but nothing came through. Saturday marked a full week of absolute silence, not a single text call or any form of communication from her. But here is what really got to me. On Thursday evening, I was at Target, and I saw Claire's car in the parking lot. I did not approach her, but I could see her through the store windows, shopping normally, checking her phone, even laughing at something on her screen. She looked completely fine, happy even, like she was enjoying her week. A woman who loved me would have been worried by day 3. A woman who even liked me would have sent one text by day 5. But Claire was just living her life, completely unbothered by my absence. On Sunday morning, I finally broke and texted her. "Hey, want to grab brunch today?" Her response came back within 10 minutes. "Sure. I have been craving those pancakes from that place on 5th Street. Pick me up in an hour." Like nothing had happened. Like we had just talked yesterday when I picked her up. She was in a great mood, chatting about her week, like everything was normal. She told me about a funny thing that happened at work. A movie she watched. A sale she found at Target, the same shopping trip where I saw her looking perfectly content. She did not mention the silence. She did not ask why I had not been in touch. She did not seem to have given our lack of contact any thought whatsoever. Finally, I could not help myself. "Claire, did you notice we did not talk at all this past week?" "Oh yeah, I guess we did not. You seem to need some space or something?" "I seem to need space? How could you tell I needed space if we were not talking?" I just assumed. "You usually text me, so when you do not, I figure you have got other stuff going on." "Did you ever think about reaching out yourself?" "Not really. Like I said before, that is more your thing. Plus, I was actually pretty busy this week." I asked the question I was dreading. "Did you miss me at all this week?" She looked genuinely confused by the question. "Miss you? We are together now. Why would I miss you when I knew I would see you eventually? But did you think about me? Did you wonder how I was doing, or wish I was there when something funny happened?" "Not really. I mean, I was focused on my own stuff. When I am not with someone, I do not really think about them. That is just how my brain works." That is when I realized Claire does not think about me when I am not physically present. I am not on her mind during the day. She does not wonder how I am doing, or wish I was there, or feel compelled to share something funny that happened to her. I exist to her only in the moments when I am actively demanding her attention. For 2 years, I thought I was in a relationship, but really, I have just been providing a service. I am like her personal entertainment coordinator and emotional support system. And she is my audience, I guess. But what happened next made me realize how deep this actually went. Update 32 days after the brunch, like nothing happened incident. Claire left her phone at my apartment when she went to get coffee. It buzzed with a text from her sister, and I glanced at it without thinking. The preview showed, "How are things with that guy you are seeing?" I know I should not have, but something made me look. I opened her messages with her sister from the past month. Her sister had asked how things were going with that guy you are seeing. And Claire had responded that things were good because I was super easy to keep happy. When her sister asked what she meant, Claire explained that I just do everything myself. Plan dates, remember stuff, handle all the relationship work. She said she barely has to do anything, and I stay totally devoted, calling it honestly the perfect setup. Her sister pointed out that it sounded a little one-sided, but Claire dismissed this, saying it was not one-sided, just efficient. She actually wrote, "Why should I waste energy on stuff he is already doing? He likes feeling needed, and I like not having to work at it. Win-win." When her sister asked what would happen if I got tired of doing everything, Claire was completely confident in her response. She said I would not get tired of it because guys like me thrive on taking care of people. It makes us feel important. Then she added the kicker, plus, where is he going to find another girlfriend who is this low maintenance? He would be crazy to leave. I read that conversation 3 times before it sank in. She was not just passively uninterested in our relationship. She was actively strategizing to do as little as possible while keeping me hooked. There were more messages where she bragged to friends about having a house-trained boyfriend who never demanded anything from her. Messages where she gave advice to single friends. The key is finding a guy who likes to chase. Let them do all the work and just show up. But the worst one was from her conversation with a coworker from last week, right during my silent experiment. Her coworker had noticed that she had not mentioned me lately and asked if everything was okay. Claire had responded that I was just going through some phase where I think she should text me first or something, but that I would get over it because they always do. When her coworker asked if she was sure and what would happen if I was serious, Claire's confidence was chilling. She told her coworker to trust her, that I was not going anywhere. She said I had invested 2 years in this relationship and would not throw that away over something so stupid. Then she added the worst part. Plus, he loves me too much to leave. I have him completely figured out. She was so confident, so sure that I would never leave because I loved her too much and had invested too much time. She saw my love as a weakness she could exploit indefinitely. I took screenshots of everything and put her phone back where she left it. When she returned with coffee, acting like the sweet girlfriend she never actually was, I looked at her differently. This woman had been running a psychological experiment on me for 2 years, seeing how little effort she could put in while maintaining maximum benefit. She had been betting on my love, using it against me. Edit. A lot of people are asking what I am going to do with this information. I am still processing it. Honestly, it is one thing to realize someone does not love you the way you love them. It is another thing to realize they have been deliberately manipulating your feelings. But now that I know exactly how she sees me, I know exactly what I need to do. Final update: I broke up with Claire yesterday. The conversation went exactly how she said it would in her texts, which somehow made it even more satisfying. I had been thinking about it for weeks after finding those messages. Every time I looked at her, I kept wondering, when was the last time she did something just because she thought it would make me happy? When was the last time she asked about my life because she genuinely wanted to know? When was the last time she reached out to me because she missed me? I could not come up with a single example in 2 years. So yesterday, I asked if we could talk. I told her I did not think our relationship was working and that I thought we should break up. Her first response was exactly what she had predicted. "Is this because I did not text you when you were in the hospital? Ryan, you are being ridiculous." I said it was not about that specific incident, but about the pattern it represented. "What pattern?" she asked, playing innocent. I pulled out my phone and read her own words back to her. "Ryan is super easy to keep happy. I barely have to do anything and he stays totally devoted. It is honestly the perfect setup." Her face went white. "You went through my phone, you left it open. But that is not the point. The point is that you have been deliberately manipulating me for 2 years." She immediately switched to damage control. "That is not what I meant. You are taking it out of context." I read another message: "He will not leave. Guys like Ryan thrive on taking care of people. It makes them feel important. Plus, where is he going to find another girlfriend who is this low maintenance?" "Okay, stop," she said. "That was just me venting to my sister. It does not mean anything." "It means everything," I told her. "It means you have been consciously choosing to put 0 effort into this relationship while counting on my feelings to keep me trapped." She got defensive immediately. "That is not true. I care about you. I spend time with you. I answer when you call. I go on the dates you plan. You do the absolute minimum required to keep me around. That is not caring. That is strategy." Then she said exactly what she had texted her coworker. Ryan, you are not going to throw away 2 years over something so stupid. You love me too much to leave. You are right, I said. I do love you too much to leave. That is why I stayed in a one-sided relationship for 2 years, making excuses for someone who saw my love as a tool to exploit. I stood up to go, but I love myself too much to stay. She panicked then. For the first time in 2 years, Claire actually showed emotion about potentially losing me. Wait, okay, fine. If this is really bothering you, I can try to text more. I can plan some dates. We can work on this. You want to work on caring about me? I do care about you. You care about what I do for you. You care about having a boyfriend who asks for nothing and gives everything. You do not care about me as a person. That is when she got angry and showed her true colors. You know what? Fine. You want to throw away the best thing that ever happened to you over something so petty. Go ahead. You will never find another woman who is as easygoing as I am. You are going to end up with some needy, clingy girl who expects you to text her every 5 minutes, and you will realize how good you had it with me. The best thing that ever happened to me? I laughed. Claire, you are a woman who brags to her friends about doing as little as possible for your boyfriend. You are not the best thing that happened to me. You are a lesson I needed to learn. You are going to regret this, she said. You are going to realize that most women are way more work than I am, and you will come crawling back. I hope I do find someone who is more work, I told her. I hope I find someone who cares enough about me to actually put in effort. I hope I find someone who thinks I am worth the energy you could not be bothered to spend. When I left her apartment for the last time, she shouted, You will never find anyone who loves you like I do. You are right. I called back, because what you gave me was not love. It was convenience. I have been getting texts from some of our mutual friends. Apparently Claire has been telling people that I broke up with her because she did not text me back fast enough and that I was way too needy and controlling. She has been showing people selected messages between us, painting me as the demanding, high-maintenance one. But a few friends reached out to get my side of the story. When I explained what actually happened and showed them the screenshots of her real feelings, they were genuinely shocked. My friend Jessica told me something that really stuck with me. Honestly, Ryan, we all noticed how one-sided things seemed, but we thought maybe you just liked taking care of people. Now that I think about it, Claire never talked about you like you were her boyfriend. She talked about you like you were her personal assistant. It was always Ryan is picking me up, or Ryan made reservations, or Ryan handled that. Never about you as a person, just about what you were doing for her. My friend Mike said, Dude, I remember Claire giving relationship advice at that party last month. She literally told Sarah to find a guy who likes to do everything for you and just let him. We thought she was joking, but apparently that was her actual dating strategy. It turns out Claire had been openly discussing her manipulation tactics with people for months. She genuinely believed she had discovered some brilliant relationship hack where she could get all the benefits of a boyfriend without any of the work. I am not going to lie. This breakup has been rough. 2 years is a long time to spend with someone, even if that relationship was not healthy. But mostly what I am feeling is relief. I did not realize how exhausting it was to be the only person invested in my own relationship. For the first time in 2 years, I do not have to wonder if my girlfriend cares about me. I do not have to analyze her responses to figure out if she is happy. I do not have to be the sole person responsible for maintaining our connection. I do not have to make excuses for someone who sees my love as a resource to be mined rather than a gift to be treasured. I am looking forward to eventually finding someone who wants to know about my day without me having to bring it up first. Someone who thinks about me when I am not around. Someone who sees our relationship as something worth actively participating in, not just passively receiving. Someone who understands that love is supposed to be a partnership, not a performance. Claire taught me something valuable. Love cannot be a one-person job. I spent 2 years loving someone who did not know how to love me back, and I convinced myself that was normal. It is not. Edit. Thank you all for the support throughout this whole saga. Reading similar stories in the comments made me realize this is way more common than I thought. To anyone who is in a similar situation, you deserve someone who chooses you every day, not just when it is convenient. Edit 2. A few people have asked if I think Claire will change, or if this breakup might be a wake-up call for her. Based on her reaction, and the things she has been telling people, I do not think so. She genuinely believes she was a perfect girlfriend, and that I am being unreasonable. You cannot fix a problem someone does not think exists. As for Claire, I heard through mutual friends that her low-maintenance girlfriend strategy is not working out so well with other guys. Apparently she tried the same approach with someone new, and he called her out on it after 2 weeks, saying she seemed emotionally unavailable. She also had to actually plan her own birthday celebration this year since she does not have a personal assistant boyfriend anymore. I am not celebrating her struggles, but there is something validating about seeing that her approach was not sustainable in the real world, and I will never again mistake someone's willingness to receive my love for their ability to return it.